And okay, we're going. So today's High Button podcast is brought to you by Tyler Noseworthy. For those of you who don't know, Tyler recently decided to step away from professional hockey and start his career as an advisor with Sun Life Financial. Tyler takes pride in the fact that his new responsibility is to help individuals, families, and businesses identify their financial needs and provide protection on the things that mean the most to them. When it comes to planning for the future, it can be overwhelming and intimidating. Tyler is there to ensure that all your financial needs are taken into consideration by providing an expert approach for you. Be sure to check out Tyler's business profile on Facebook, or you can reach out directly at 902-452-9191. Nailed it. It's Stephen MacAulay, what's up? Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem, man. Good to see you.
How's your summer going? Obviously, you're playing in Florida for the past little bit. Florida's a bit different than Halifax, but yeah. I'm sure you're happy to be home.
Yeah. No, like anytime you leave and come back, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I mean, like yesterday, I walked on the waterfront. It was the first time I'd been down there, so it was you don't get that anywhere else. The feeling of being home, and it's great.
They changed up the waterfront because I was out in Vancouver for a bit too, and when I came home, I was shocked. They have a bunch of new renovations they're doing down there.
I was down closer to the bicycle thief area, and they had the hammocks up and yoga going on. It was new
yoga.
Yeah,
down by the hammocks.
Yeah, sort of on the grass there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking. They have a floating wharf now down by Murphy's on the Water.
Okay.
Remember that they dug out a part of the harbor where the water used to be.
Yeah.
And apparently they're putting condos there.
Yeah. When I left in September, they were kind of working on it. It was temporary, but it must be finished now.
Just be a little bit closer to the mic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
They're good mics, but you got to be there. You go. Beautiful. Yeah. All right. So let's. You're going to hear the intro when the podcast is out, but when it comes to incredible junior hockey careers, I automatically think of you. A huge leadership role on the teams that you played for when you went to the Memorial Cup. I don't know. Essentially, whenever your name gets brought up, it's people speak highly of you. So I want to start back from the beginning of your hockey career and to where you're at now, I guess. I want to talk about the first year in St. John when you were there. Were you 16 or 17?
Yeah.
You were 16, I believe.
I was 16. Yeah, so I played my midget hockey in Cole Harbour.
Yeah.
Had a pretty good year, and then I got drafted in I think the third round.
Yeah.
To the Sea Dogs. I went to camp, not really knowing if I'd stay or go back to Cole Harbour, but
yeah,
they ended up wanting to keep me. So it was pretty cool.
So what do you think you did well at that camp at 16? Because 16, you're going into a Q camp, you're still a skinny kid. It's hard to make was Thomas there that year when you went to that guy? I remember watching that guy and just being there's no way I'll ever be able to play in the Q, just looking at that guy just tossing kids around. So what was your mentality going into that Q camp 16? What was your plan to make a difference on the ice?
Man, to be honest, I was pretty scared. I was probably 6, maybe a little shorter than I'm now. I was probably 6 feet, 6'1", but I was 155 pounds. So
155?
Yeah, man. I think I started in the Q, I was 155. I hadn't really hit my, the growth spurt and, hadn't put on weight yet. So I was just kind of trying to, use my my skating and take a lot of pride in thinking the game. So I think that kind of allowed me to stick. I didn't play a whole lot that year, but I mean just being there and practicing and playing the minutes I did, I think it really helped for the next year and the years to come. So
I felt like you guys had a strong dressing room when you were younger in St. John. You had a bunch of guys that went pro, most of them. But there was a lot of great leaders on that team in St. John, because I remember my buddy Stephen Anthony went there, and I remember him talking the year before about the dressing room and how there was a bunch of great players that played there. Did you feed off any leadership? Was there one person in particular that you learned from that was, because you're 16, maybe someone took you under your wing, I guess, or their wing?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, it was such a strong group. It's hard to single out one guy, but my second year. Mike Thomas became the captain.
Yeah.
That was the year. No, that wasn't the year we went to the Memorial Cup. We lost in the finals to Moncton my 17-year-old year.
Okay.
So he took over as captain, and he's a pretty intimidating guy, but just would do anything for any of the guys. And I think the biggest strength of that team was just the guys there's a lot of guys that started when I was 16 or 17.
Yeah.
That kind of we moved up. Played 3 or 4 years with the Sea Dogs, and that's so many strong bonds, and
Yeah.
Like Beaulieu, Yurko, Galiev, Zach Phillips, Kirkpatrick, to name a few.
Yeah.
Anthony was there for a while too.
Yeah.
So many great players that, have moved on. I mean, Jonathan Huberdeau, I didn't even mention him. He's probably doing the best out of all of them. But
and Gallant was the coach back then too, right?
Yeah, not my first year, but he took over the second year, and then until I left, actually. So
he did coach you, in St. John.
Yeah. He did 3 years. Yeah. And then my 20 year, he moved on to he got an assistant job with the Canadians.
Yeah. Let's talk. If you don't mind, I want to talk about him a bit. He just got NHL Coach of the Year. Some are saying, how did he do it with a team that should not have gone to where they went? Maybe you could give like a little insight of maybe some tricks that he uses, because a lot of people say that he lets the players play. He had an interview in the Stanley Cup playoffs about like, if a player makes a mistake, I don't get on them because they know they made a mistake or something like that. He just seems like a very coachable, or a very a player's coach, I guess I'm trying to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you relate to that maybe?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like you said, like player coach, that's the biggest thing that comes to mind with him.
Yeah.
Like he knew how to manage us, like how hard to push us in practice or when to give us days off, and because he played the game, right? He was a great player for the Red Wings back in the day. So, no, he was just like, he was hard on us, but fair too. If you worked hard and you gave it, what your potential could be, he was fair with you, and I mean, learned a lot from him for sure.
That's crazy. How was Huberdeau like in the dressing room? What's he like? I mean, actually, you know what was he like in practice is what I want to know, because that's when I think of players, it's like what they do in a game is great, but I love hearing what they do in practices, like what Crosby does in practice and things like that. Yeah. Was Huberdeau, did he ever have any like things that he did in practice that just like blew your mind?
He's just everything he does is just so smooth.
Yeah.
But I find not only him, but like other great players that I had a privilege to play with, like McKinnon and Drouin, like these guys are so intense in practice. You can just tell every day they're trying to get better at something. Yeah. Even if it's small, like staying after practice, working on like, I don't know, say like taking it from behind the net, like scooping it in, like stuff that happens, every once in a while in the game. But these guys are, they work on their craft like no other. And it's not, not hard to see why, these guys are doing so well.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. Whenever I talk to like Hardy or Trey Lewis, even Cuzner wasn't on the mem team, but whenever I talk to these guys about like practices you guys had and how intense they were, I think someone even said that your black aces, Ducharme told them like to get off the ice because they kept messing up the drills. That's how high speed they were.
Yeah, late in the playoffs and the Memorial Cup, they had like their own sheet of ice. It's kind of felt bad, but I guess. Yeah.
Did you ever have any trouble keeping up with practice, or was there anything that ever happened in your case?
Like what do you mean? Like,
well, I think Hardy said that like him and McKinnon got into it for a minute in practice because something happened. I don't know. I forget what he said exactly, but
yeah. So when I went to the Mooseheads, I was halfway through my 20-year-old year. So I think these guys, they kind of like they weren't afraid of me. They just there's a respect factor.
Of course,
they never really gave me a hard time or anything, and tried to keep up. Whenever I was doing a drill with them, try to you got to give them the puck. That's for
exactly.
Sure. They want the puck.
Yeah. Well, that's true because you're a Cole Harbour guy too. So what was your? You guys had like a Maritime Grit. You guys had like a hashtag going. I remember on social media, or maybe it was something Cole Harbour Grit.
No, I don't know.
I forget what it was.
It might have been the other boys from Halifax. That might have been like Obi and Penny and those guys.
I don't even remember what it was.
I'm not sure.
Let's talk about the news when you found out that you had to leave St. John and go to Halifax. Obviously, you're pumped. Obviously, you're a little sad because you grew up in St. John. I don't know, how did that meeting go when you got called into the office?
Actually, it's kind of it's a different way of finding out today. Like social media was kind of getting bigger. It was 2013, halfway through 2013. So, actually no, sorry, it wasn't halfway. It was right after Christmas. So it was like start of January. So I actually was like, took a shower before we were playing that night. It was like a Friday.
Okay.
We were playing at home. So I got out of the shower and checked my phone. And I had like, I don't know, like 10, 15 messages from like buddies, like family saying like, is it true? Like, you're coming to Halifax? Like, yeah, I'm so pumped. Like,
and you didn't even know?
I had no idea. So then I looked at my phone like again, and it's Mike Kelly, our GM, associate coach there. And he had called me and someone leaked it, I guess. I don't know if it was some sort of, like, I think it was a French reporter, like in RDS or something like that. So it ended up getting to him or her, and then they leaked it, and that's kind of how I found out. He felt really bad about how I found out because I'd spent so much time there, but
yeah,
it wasn't a big deal, and I was just, you know, it was sad leaving there, but it was a rebuilding year too, so it was made it easier to leave. Like a lot of the guys that I'd grown up with there had already moved on or been traded, so I was coming home to Halifax, you know, team, you know, like yourself. I'm sure you grew up idolizing the Mooseheads, so yeah, it was a dream come true, really.
I bet a lot of mixed emotions happened when you missed that call or when you found out about the trade. Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
15 messages. That's
I don't know the exact number, but it was
So what did you do? Did you go to the rink to like as you said you had a game that day? You just went to the rink and saw the boys, got your gear?
Actually, I kind of just like I stayed at home, and then I came as the game was ending. Like they were coming off and getting unchanged and stuff, and I had to go grab my gear. You know, take it home, say my goodbye to all the boys, and go back home.
Wait, go back home?
Sorry, back to my billets.
Yeah, okay,
which is like 10, 15 minutes from the rink.
Okay.
And then what happened is I had a car there. The next day, I think, or the next day, the Mooseheads were traveling to PEI to play a Sunday afternoon game. So this is like a Saturday.
Okay.
So I drove to Sussex. I think it was. Does that make sense if you're going to PEI?
I'm terrible with this stuff. I'm
so
sorry.
I think it was like
I'll believe you. Sure, Sussex.
One of those. You know, like one of those like truck stops or whatever. And
the big stops. All those are incredible.
And actually, it was Midgley. Jim Midgley picked me up in his car and then took me to PEI, and I met the team there. And
nice.
Yeah, it's kind of went from there.
How was your welcoming? I guess you probably knew a bunch of guys on the team anyway, so you probably fit in like nothing.
Yeah, I'd been in the league for a while.
Yeah,
and one of my good buddies from Cole Harbour was already there for a couple of years. Brendan Duke.
Oh yeah, Duke. Yeah.
Yeah, Duker was there, so they put me in a room with him to start, and you know, being from Cole Harbour, I knew Nate.
Yeah.
Knew a few guys just from the Maritimes playing against and on like, you know, spring teams and stuff, but
yeah.
Other than that, you know, it was a pretty seamless transition. Like they had a good thing going there, and I was just trying to step in and not screw it up and bring what I could to the team.
I remember the rumor mill around Halifax before that trade happened, like, because obviously there was a chance that they were going to go to the Mem Cup, and there was so many like even Duffy was in that mix saying, oh no, Duffy's coming to Halifax, and then MacAulay's coming. There's a couple other guys, I forget. I mean, I don't even know, so long ago. But there was so much talk around the hockey community that there was going to be a big free, you know, guy's going to come here and make a difference, and it ended up being you. Did you hear these rumors at all, or was it just you must have heard something?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only human. You go on Twitter and this
is a time where Twitter's starting.
Yeah, it's starting to get big. So you know, you see the rumors, and actually, he had our GM had told me, you know, like if can I move you, you know. He kind of, I didn't have a no trade clause, but like there's you know, a respect factor between us that
of course
he wouldn't send me to like, you know, Rwanda or not saying that it's terrible, but my last year I don't really want to go to Northern Quebec. They said, you know, if Halifax is, you know, looking at you, like we got a game coming up against them, like, you know, you should probably play well if you want to get dealt there. And it was actually here at the Metro Center, and we were awful that year, the first half of the year anyway. I was in St. John. And Halifax is a powerhouse. I think they're missing a couple guys because they're World Juniors, like McKenna and Duran. But we ended up beating them like 3-2, and I had 1-2. So
attaboy.
I think that kind of solidified it for you know, for the Mooseheads trying to make their trade. So
did you ever, because you already went to the Mem Cup or won the Mem Cup before that? Did you ever give any like pep talks or anything in the dressing room? Tell the boys what it was like, I don't know, before the first game. Where was it? Saskatchewan?
Yeah,
when you guys went?
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon, sorry. Did you ever like talk to the boys, like here's what you're gonna expect? Anything like that?
I mean, not really. Like
no.
I mean, in a way, just being a calming presence. You know, guys are nervous, of course. We're all human, you know. So, but for me, it was. I had been there the 2 previous years, so I was fortunate to have the experience. And And you know, I just said it's just, you know, try to settle in. You'll be nervous at first, but try to settle in and just treat it like any other game. And it worked for us. I mean, we had a good tournament there, and you know, ended up winning it. So
I want to go backwards for a second here. I remember you said you had an afternoon game, or they had an afternoon game at PEI. I remember a story back when I went to NSCC. We had a road trip to St. John's, and you were in the Coras. It was me and Stuart Lenahan. And we went to the Coras, and you were there, and you had an afternoon game. So I wanted to, do you remember this? You might have been 17 or 18. If you don't remember it, you don't remember it.
I can't say it. I know, obviously, Lanny, I played midget with him.
Yeah, so it was like a road trip for us. And you had an afternoon game, and we were in the cores, and then Lenny saw you in the corner. He went and talked to you.
Was it in St. John?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do remember. Yeah, I do remember now.
So
I think that was an off day for us or something.
I'm pretty sure you had a suit on.
Did I?
Or you had I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I might be wrong.
Didn't eat my pregame meals at Cora's.
Well, that was my question. If you had an afternoon game, did you go to Cora's?
Well, maybe. Yeah, I guess it could be. I don't like eating. Nobody likes eating pasta in the morning if you got an afternoon game. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Honestly, I vaguely remember, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember we were gonna come see the game. I'm pretty sure, but we had to go back home or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So you didn't. Okay. All right. Well, that was just a random question I wanted to know.
That's a good memory, though.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Thanks. Okay. So I guess we can talk about that. Mem Cup, you win it for Halifax. What did you guys do after? How did you celebrate?
So we actually didn't go out or anything. We had there's like a common room in the hotel in Saskatoon.
Okay.
Not a common room, but I guess like a meeting area that the team provided all the drinks and
awesome.
Food and like a lot of most of the families came out for the guys and all the management and the people in the front office in Halifax, they all came out. So
wicked.
It was a pretty big big party basically. Nothing crazy. No drunk tank stories or anything like that, but it was a pretty fun night. And then we got back to Halifax. We did our going out there.
How was that feeling coming off the plane? Did you hold the cup or was it Lewis?
I think it was Trey.
You were right behind him because you're in the picture.
Yeah, Trey took it off. I was right behind him. It was pretty cool, man. Like that feeling, you maybe at that moment in your career you don't appreciate it as much as I do now.
Yeah.
Like I'm not playing in the NHL.
Yeah.
I haven't really
not
had
yet.
that. Yeah. I never know. But
you never know.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was. Yeah. You appreciate it now when you look back at it, talking about it with you, and it's pretty cool, man.
When you had the parade here in Halifax, when you guys were all up on the stage, a couple boys made a speech. Did you say anything into the microphone?
Yeah, actually, I think I do remember. Like the MC, I think it was Bobby Mack, like the Q104 guy.
Bobby Mack.
Yeah, legend.
I've been waking up earlier lately and listening to the guy.
They're awesome.
Man, he's great.
Q104 is great, but he asked me which one felt better, like St. John or Halifax. And, it's hard to compare them. I was going to
ask that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, I'm not asking him that because I know the answer.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing here, grew up in Halifax and idolizing the Moose. I think this one felt really good. Had a lot of things going on, like personally too. Like my mom passed away that winter too, so for her, it was, to me it was like, kind of,
it's a tough one.
Yeah, it was a tough
obviously.
One for sure, coming home and dealing with all that. But hockey got me through a lot that year. So,
I bet.
Yeah.
I remember there was a sick picture of you in the paper pointing to the sky.
Yeah.
After you scored a goal, and I was just.
Yeah,
I think I don't know that for it hit home for me. I was just like, that's incredible.
It was the first game back.
Was it?
Yeah, I took some time off, obviously, for a week or two, and I think that was the first game back. Yeah, it was tough to explain, really. But
I don't blame you, man.
It was fantastic. Yeah,
and winning that thing, winning the Mem Cup after that happening, that must have just been the most fulfilling feeling in the entire world.
Absolutely. You obviously feel like sad that she wasn't there to see it, but if you believe in that, like she was there to see it.
Of course, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I believe in that stuff all the time.
Yeah,
all the time. Passing. Oh man.
Yeah.
To move on, I want to talk about the transition from junior hockey to professional hockey. Hamilton Bulldogs, right out of
right out of the year at the Mooseheads, I signed with Hamilton in the AHL.
Actually, let's not even move on. I want to talk about the draft. Sorry, getting drafted to St. Louis. I kind of bumped ahead there. I'm sorry. Did you go to the draft? What was that? What was that experience like?
I actually didn't go to the draft.
You got the call.
I knew there's a good chance like I would get picked later.
Yeah,
in the later rounds. Wasn't sure by who. Like I think I'd only talked to St. Louis like early, like November, December, like not even leading up to the draft kind of thing.
Okay.
So it was pretty surprising. I stayed at home. Some buddies came over just in case, I got picked, and
nice.
Got a phone call from Gallant, like my coach in St. John. He was there.
He was at the draft.
Coaches always go to the draft normally if they have guys getting picked.
Was he? Wait. Was he with Montreal already?
No, he was coaching me in St. John.
Why? So why is he at the draft?
Usually if they have like junior teams have players getting picked. The coaches or GMs will go, or both.
I guess he's an ex-NHL guy too, so he probably has buddies.
Rub shoulders with guys. But
cool.
So he called me, and that was before it was like posted online. So one of the proudest moments of my life.
Oh man, I bet.
Obviously, like I didn't work out there. Went to a couple camps, but I never signed. But still, I was very proud of it for sure.
How is St. Louis as a city? You've been obviously.
I've been. I went a couple times in the summer to train for like a couple weeks, and then to the fall training camps. Yeah. That's nice. Like,
is it?
Yeah. I mean, like, there's like rough parts.
Is there? Well, just like everywhere.
Yeah, it's like anywhere else, but no, like there's some cool like we stayed across like basically like Busch Stadium outfield, like where the Cards play.
I heard that's one of the nicest stadiums in the league.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So we'd go to games there, like when we're in camp, and you can see like the big St. Louis arch. And, it was pretty cool.
That's sick.
Nice rink and stuff, but
cool.
Yeah.
And then so after you played Hamilton right away, I believe.
Yeah.
Or how did that work?
Yeah. So I signed in Hamilton, and I ended up splitting time with their East Coast League team in Wheeling, West Virginia. Not the best spot, but
the Wheeling Nailers.
Yeah, I spent a little bit of time.
Do you know how what the origin of the name is there? How that came about? It's one of the funniest names.
Yeah, I think there used to be like a nail factory in the town. Like it was kind of like it was a bit of a ghost town. Like I think the industry kind of
the nail industry is on the downfall.
On the downfall, yeah. So everything kind of shut down after that.
Okay.
But yeah, so I spent time between Wheeling and Hamilton, and then at Christmas I had to make a decision whether to keep going or come back to school, and I just thought at that time it was right to go to school, and so I could play right away. Like I played as soon as I came back to St. Mary's.
Okay, yeah.
But if I kept playing till the end of the season, I would have had to redshirt a year. So that's kind of the decision I made, and yeah.
Cool. Was Fucali in Hamilton at that time when you went?
No, at that time he wasn't, but another teammate from Fournier.
Fournier, I was going to say.
He was in Hamilton, yeah. So
it's always good to have a buddy going anywhere.
Yeah, for sure. And Ben Duffy, actually, I know him from the city. He had signed in Hamilton too.
Oh, so he was there when you were there?
Yeah, so he was up and down with me too, and he actually left as well.
Where did he go to St. Mary's with you?
He initially went to UNB, but like something happened there. He couldn't play right away, and then he ended up transferring to St. Mary's, so we played at SMU together. So
many rules to play hockey, man. It's crazy. It's such a business.
Yeah, it really is. That's all it is. But, it's not so bad.
It's crazy, like, because I never played professional hockey. Like, I only went to junior. But whenever I talk to guys that go on and play professional, there's so much moving around.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much travel. There's so much business a part of it. There's so much, okay, I'll try to make it to the rink so I can play when you get traded. Like, it just seems like there's a whole other element of it.
Yeah, man, it's nuts. Like, just like you said, like all the movement. Like, just a story from this year, for example. So I'd gotten called up to Syracuse for a few games.
Yeah,
and we played Wednesday in Laval, Montreal's farm team.
I know,
and then Friday at home. And then Saturday at home, and then they sent me down after the game Saturday to play on Sunday afternoon in Worcester, Massachusetts. So my team in Florida was up north, like on a road trip.
Yeah.
And I thought I would get the day off, like, geez, I just played 3 and 3, whatever.
Go to the beach, maybe.
Yeah, no, not even. Just like, maybe go to the beach if they sent me home, but. So I had to go right to Worcester and traveled all night, got like 2 hours of sleep, and then we were hurting, so I had to play that game, and it was miserable. That was one of the worst hockey games I've ever had to play. But.
And you're probably dealing with the time change too.
No, it was in the same time zone. Luckily,
was
Syracuse, New York to Worcester. It wasn't
same.
Bad. It's just outside Boston, but I was just so exhausted, and you're kind of like rattled about getting sent back down because you want to be in the AHL. But
it honestly seems like there's like a mental toughness that has to come with it.
Yeah.
Like the emotions that must be running through you. It's like, okay, I'm in the A, now I'm in the coast.
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm back here. Now I'm in a different city. Now I don't know the person I'm living with. Now just so many different elements that come in just to playing a game you love.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you're not used to when you're playing in junior. Because the most you have to go through in junior, going to St. John to Halifax.
I was very lucky in junior to not get
dealt everywhere.
Get dealt everywhere, or be on terrible teams. Like St. John and Halifax are two of the best franchises in the league. But
and you're in the Maritimes. You're not in Quebec anywhere.
Yeah, I saw my parents all the time.
Yeah,
it was only like a 3.5-hour drive to St. John. But you just kind of learn, in the pro ranks, to not take anything personally. It's just a business, like you said, man. Yeah.
I want to talk about playing down in Florida now. Is it hard to? I don't want to say it's hard to focus on. You know what about the Florida Everblades?
Yeah.
I drove by the stadium when I was like 19 years old. I was in Florida for like a family vacation. I saw the rink.
Yeah.
Looks like a wicked rink right off the highway. It's right because Looks like an awesome rink. Never been inside. Looked at pictures today before you came.
Yeah.
It looks like there's a pretty good fan base for playing hockey in Florida. Am I wrong by saying that?
No. You're absolutely right. I mean, if you're gonna play in the East Coast League, like it's one of the best, if not the best, places to play in terms of like you're living in Florida all year. You wear shorts and flip flops to the rink every morning, even in like January, February. But no, the way they treat us is like amazing too. We fly pretty much everywhere.
You guys fly
out of our division, unless we can drive. Like we'll fly a lot of places that other teams, they bus. So no, they treat us great, and the fans are good too. Like kind of more in the middle of the winter. There's more fans because there's so many Canadians like tourists down there.
Yeah, that was probably me. I just didn't go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think we average a few more fans like in the tourism months, like January to April. But
I saw Johnny Moore came down and took a trip and like did some behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
that was a cool video.
Yeah. We were actually out at, I forget where we were on All-Star break. So actually that was in the end of January. Johnny had reached out to me and asked if I'd be around, but I actually ended up coming home for a few days.
Okay,
it was the only time I got home this year, but. I think he was down there just on vacation himself, and he like trying to reach out because there's another Nova Scotian, Kirkpatrick.
He plays there with you too?
Yeah, Kirky and I we lived together. Yeah, we played together in St. John and down in Florida too. So it was cool to have him there.
So like while you're living here, do you have a place here? It's like you're here how many months of the year? 2 months of the year. Like, do you have a place?
No, I'm living at my dad's.
Yeah, man.
I lived with him last summer too, and living with him again this summer.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any point to get a place.
No. Like when I went to school at SMU, I lived with a few guys downtown, but
save money too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's free 99. So.
So what do you do down in Florida? Do you fish or anything? Like talk about a place to be an outdoorsman.
Yeah.
What do you do for fun over there?
There's so many things. Like I mean, I'm not really a guy to fish, but I played a lot of golf.
Do you?
I had my clubs down there, and I played quite a bit.
Nice.
Got some good deals on really nice courses. So I try to play like once a week, like on a day off, say. And yeah,
you're living the dream.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, and like our apartment complexes were like beautiful, and we had like a huge pool. And so anytime you just want to go outside, lay in the sun, you could do it. And there's tons of beaches around too. You can drive too. So there's lots to do for sure.
It must be easy to get your mind off hockey over there.
Yeah, exactly. If you're having a bad day, you just step outside basically.
That's sick. I want to talk about travel on the East Coast. I said that you guys fly around to games, which is incredible. I didn't know that in the East Coast you would fly to games, but maybe talk about like other teams or like cities that you play against in your division, because like it's a part of the world I'm not very familiar with. Maybe like give me some like an average travel day for you guys. Where you'd go? Would you stay the night? Would you drive back to Florida overnight?
So we play a lot of games like within our division. So there's like Florida, Orlando, which is only 3.5 hours, so we'd bus. Jacksonville is like 5 or something, so we'd bus there too. And then Atlanta is a little further, it's like 8. And then there's 2 teams in South Carolina.
Okay.
So we'd bus there too. Those are probably our longest trips, like bus trips.
Yeah.
Those kind of suck. Like we would say if we play like a Friday, Saturday, Monday, something like that, we'd actually leave like Wednesday night. So like 11 o'clock Wednesday night and drive through the night.
Wait, do you guys have like a sleeper bus?
Yeah, so we had a sleeper bus, which is nice.
Wait a sec. Okay, so I got to stop you at the sleeper bus. How does that work? How many rows are on the bus? Like, do you hit your head? Like, is there four? So
there's 3, so past like halfway. So like in the front, there's like couches and then like beds that kind of come from the top.
Okay.
Kind of hard to explain.
So wait, do the coaches have beds or the coaches
they
just
kind
sit?
of have couches that move in, like that they
like recline?
They make it into beds.
Okay.
I guess. And then once you get half, you open a door and then all the bunks are there. So there's like, I think it's 3. So it's like top, middle, bottom.
Yeah.
And then 3. So I'm trying to think.
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. You're a hockey player, not a math
you're right.
magician.
Yeah. So there's probably like 18, 19 bunks or something like
that. So
everyone gets a bunk.
Where's the
usually
preferable? Do you want to be on top, middle, or bottom?
So I learned last year was when I was in Florida a little bit. My bunk was on the top. And I found that was a little like rocky.
Yeah. Okay.
So I went to the bottom this year, and it was great. Yeah.
You
don't move as much.
Oh yeah.
Kind of sucks getting down there. Like if you got to get up in the middle of the night to piss or something. Like
yeah.
It kind of blows, but.
I couldn't imagine that driving through the middle of the night,
yeah,
leaving.
It's not great.
That's pro hockey.
Yeah, you just deal with it. I mean, everyone's doing it, so
everyone's doing it.
I mean, it's not like one guy's flying, the other guys are driving.
Yeah.
So we'd leave 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Try to get sleep. It's tough. I don't sleep well on buses. I usually just like.
Oh, me too.
Try to take a melatonin or something to help me sleep, and then you wake up like 8, 9 o'clock, and you're like somewhere like maybe a couple hours from where you're going.
Yeah.
Like stop for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then sometimes when you get to the city, like if you get to like Charleston, South Carolina, something like that, we'll practice right away, like on the Thursday, because we play Friday.
Man, that's awesome. Like
it's actually not bad.
You're playing in a rink that you'd never like. One thing I always found cool about playing hockey, like traveling, was just pulling over to like a shit rink and getting to practicing. It's like I'd never be in this rink ever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so you get out practice and
you're in South Carolina playing hockey.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. No, the division we played in was pretty awesome.
I want to talk about a story back when I was with the Mooseheads for the short time. Cam got fired, so Bobby became the coach for, I think it was like half the season. And for that half of the season, I was there. So Bobby's not sitting in a regular chair on the bus. So I remember coming out of practice
Surprised
once.
he wasn't flying.
Yeah, exactly. And you know how like the Moosehead bus can go through the tunnel like of the Metro Center, like, and come in. So we're coming out of practice once, and I see they're like repairing, where the coaches sit at the front. So they're taking out the chairs of the front, and they're putting in like 2 lazy boys essentially. So like the nice comfy chair for Bobby to sit up the front, because he's taking these road trips. Usually he would fly too, but I remember seeing those chairs going and being like, that's what a millionaire owner would do right there.
Exactly.
Put a lazy boy at the front of his own bus.
Put a couple more in the back.
Yeah. Put a couple more at the back.
Yeah.
That's funny. But no, that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You mentioned some 6 cities that you travel to. Do you ever go to any like football games? Like, do you ever get to go up a day early? Like Atlanta, talk about like a crazy sports city as well. You said Jacksonville, another great football. They're not good at football, but
they were
still
okay this year. But not really, man. I didn't take in any. Orlando is a great city too.
You ever go to Disneyland?
I went to Disney, last year. Actually, that's kind of like I just went down there for Christmas. My family,
did you?
And, yeah, we all.
I've never been. I heard it's still fun if you're like 10 or if you're like 25.
Blast,
I heard it's a great time.
Yeah, I went last year. But no, I didn't get to any sporting events, but it's pretty cool to see like some of the cities you're in, like the like the stadiums and like a lot of like college football towns and stuff.
Yeah. Just being in the States in general, there's just so much to do anywhere you go. Incredible.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, so I want to talk. What do I have on the paper here? Oh yeah, NHL camps. Being in the dressing room with like the best players in the world, and like essentially like the pace of practice. Like, how you said the pace of practice when you're practicing with McKinnon and Drouin that year in junior. Maybe when you went to the Montreal camp when you were in Florida or St. Louis. Did you notice? Oh, well, obviously you noticed a higher pace in the game. Can you notice or did you remember one camp in particular that you were on the ice with some amazing players and maybe a skill set that you saw that you could tell the listeners of a individual? If that question made any sense, Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
it made sense for sure. I just think the first 2 like NHL camps I went to in St. Louis, I was so young. I still like wasn't matured physically, so just that camp was the most like, I didn't feel like I belonged kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you feel like you kind of do, but like strength wise, you definitely don't. Like I remember like the first practice with St. Louis, like in the main camp.
Yeah.
Doing a 1-on-1 against Roman Polak. So like he's not like the most sleight of foot guy, but man, he's one of the strongest players I've ever seen. Like he looks like a bodybuilder basically. So I just tried.
And here's the kid.
Yeah, basically just a kid, just turned like 18 years old.
Yeah.
So try to go inside, outside, and then he's just like basically staples me into the wall. Just get crushed. And you're like,
and that's nothing to him.
Yeah, to him it's like he probably felt bad about it. Like, you know, like, this guy's so terrible. Like,
was Oshie there?
Yeah. They're good back when.
Yeah. Pietrangelo,
yeah,
Steen.
he was starting out. Steen was there. Yeah, Berglund. Like most of the guys they still have. I don't know if Stats
was Allen there, the goalie.
Jake was there. Yeah,
do you know him personally?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, well, just from those camps, and he knew, like, we're both Maritimers, so you kind of stick together.
Yeah,
he was a younger guy. He was in the American League at that point.
But, was he?
Yeah.
Like. That must be incredible, just being able to like be in the dressing room with those guys. Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah, and then the Montreal camps that I went to, like just shooting on Carey Price and seeing PK out there, like in the inter squad game, like doing spinoramas, like it's pretty cool.
Well, I want to talk about the Montreal camp first of all. So you're at the main camp in Montreal.
Yeah. So after I played with the Mooseheads, like the AHL contract, I got like the camp as well.
Yeah,
Montreal. And
that's awesome.
Like went to the rookie camp and then went to the main camp, and like a lot of like inter squad games. So you know you're rubbing shoulders with all the NHL guys and mixed in with the AHL, you know, junior guys. But
that's cool. Was Fournier there with you? He must have been.
Fournier's there. Yeah, Fournier's is there. Like Pacioretty's incredible.
Yeah,
Plekanec was impressive.
Apparently he's going back to Montreal this year.
Is he?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, no idea.
He wants to like finish his career there in Montreal.
Yeah.
Did you notice any crazy fans in Montreal? Obviously, it's the hockey mecca.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Was there like fans just like outside the facility, just like waiting for autographs, like hounding?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they would. Like not for the guys that the junior guys.
The younger
but like
guys,
the big for the big guys. Yeah. PK and Price for sure.
Did you get a pregame in with Florida?
Yeah. So I did when I was with St. Louis my second year.
Okay.
I played in Colorado. And then was it last season or 2 seasons ago? Yeah, last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I went to Florida camp, and I actually got a game in there too. It was at the rink in Florida. It was a split squad game, so they played in the afternoon and at night. So I played in the afternoon game in front of like nobody. There's no fans.
No.
Honestly, can't remember. There's maybe like 3,000 or 4,000.
Ugh.
I'm trying to even think who we played.
That's I'd be so pissed. Yeah. Not pissed. I mean, no, you're not pissed. It was
still cool, but no, like it was great. Like I had a pretty good game and played fourth line minutes, but no, it was good.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So what's the plan for next year? Do you have anything on? Are you going to be going back to Florida? Do you know yet? Anything that you can release?
Nah, nothing really. Kind of looking all over right now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like thinking about maybe going to Europe. So
interesting.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where I'll end up or if I'll even go, but
okay.
I think at the very least I'll end up back in Florida. But
so you still have your apartment there?
No. The team actually has the apartments, so they provide them in the East Coast League. So that's
awesome. You don't have to pay rent. It's already covered.
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's a perk for sure. The AHL you got to pay, but so I don't really know. We'll see in the next few weeks, I guess.
I was talking to Trey and Cuzner a couple of months or like last month, and they're playing in Paris. Talk to them. Maybe go play over there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Did you listen to the Conrad podcast?
I listened to a little bit today. Yeah.
He's having a great time over there.
Yeah, he is.
He's having a great time.
He actually called me today.
Did he?
Yeah, he was just he was asking like what my plans were, because he's playing in Germany and he knows like a lot of the coaches and stuff over there, so he was seeing if I'd be interested. And
yeah, man.
I don't know about
Bondarchuk's going.
Yeah. I don't know if I can go right to that league, but
yeah,
maybe somewhere over there for sure.
Who are you skating with in the summers? Because I want to talk if you've ever skated with Crosby. I'm a big Crosby behind the scenes story guy.
Yeah.
I love the guy. Do you ever skate with Sid, or who do you skate with in the summer?
I mean, I haven't skated yet this summer. Just coming off a broken ankle, and I just got home. Like season ended like 3 weeks ago, so not really. You're
not in hockey mode.
Not eager to skate yet, but I skated with him the last few summers, here and there.
Cool. What are those skates like?
They're incredible. I'd be shocked if there were better summer skates anywhere else in the world, with the caliber of players out there.
Yeah.
It's impressive. Him and McKinnon's equally as impressive out in practice for sure.
How does it work? Like, because I heard it's really secretive, these skates, like what time they are. How does it work? Do you just get like a random text? Or can you got to reveal something?
Yeah, no. So No, I'm not in the texting. We're not in texting terms, I guess. But I train with Brad Marchand.
Okay.
In the gym, so
yeah.
Anytime like he's skating, he asks if I'm coming out. So
okay, cool.
I never really got invited, but yeah, sure. If you want me to come, yeah.
Of course you're gonna go.
You don't really turn that down.
Yeah, man.
Hopefully, when I start skating again, I can get out with those guys. But
so is your ankle like recovered?
Yeah. So I missed the first 2 rounds of the playoffs this year, and it was really strange. Like it wasn't a block shot or anything, and I just kind of hit a rut in the ice, like trying to hop over someone, and I just twisted the wrong way and tore some ligaments and cracked a bone in the ankle. But yeah, it's okay now. It's just a little like stiff. I was in a walking boot for a little while, so it got really stiff. But I came back for the last 2 rounds and it felt okay. So
there you go.
I'll start skating at some point.
How's the ice in Florida?
It's fine.
Is it?
It's actually good. Like they got a good I don't know, I guess good cooling system. Yeah. Like in our rink, there's 2 practice rinks too, so they keep
in the rink that you play in.
Yeah. So they got like minor hockey rinks there.
Okay, cool.
No, they're all good.
I wouldn't have thought that, honestly.
Yeah, like it's like not all the rinks in like the warm climates are nice.
Yeah.
I mean, not nice, but the ice isn't great. Like Orlando is awful because that's where they play in the same arena as the Magic.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so like there will be a basketball game the night before, then we play the next night in the rink, and the ice is just awful.
I don't even like the ice in the Metro Center. I find it too warm in there.
Yeah,
because they got the basketball going back and forth.
Yeah,
and the concerts.
Yeah.
And I found it extremely hot in there.
Yeah, it can be hit or miss for sure. You kind of get used to it when you play there, but if you're like a road team, it's terrible. Yeah, like most of the rinks you play in are cold.
Oh yeah, that's another question I wanted to ask you. I ask all the guys that played heavily in the queue, what's the worst rink you hate to play in the queue? Don't say Baie-Comeau because everyone says Baie-Comeau, but if it is Baie-Comeau, don't worry about it. But
it probably is Baie-Comeau.
Okay, don't say the second worst one then.
Second worst, I would say Val-d'Or.
Why Val-d'Or?
I'm a big like locker room guy. Like I like my area where I get changed. Like I'm not like superstitious or anything, but I just like having some space.
Elbow room, yeah. You don't want to be like sardines. So like I don't know if it's improved since I've played. It probably has, but no, when I played, it was the room was terrible. Sewer ball area wasn't great. The what?
Like sewer ball, playing soccer.
Oh, sewer ball. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Yeah, 2-touch, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's different names for it.
Do you have any pregame routines that you can talk about right now? Are you a superstitious guy?
No, not really.
No.
Like I just kind of get ready, at the same time, like on the clock.
Yeah.
Play some soccer, stretch.
Yeah.
Get warm. Depends how the body's feeling, how much stretching I do or warming up.
Cool.
Like if you're on the back end of a 3-on-3 and you're tired, you don't really warm up as much, I guess.
Yeah.
But you just kind of figure it out.
Deadly.
Yeah.
I got everything I wanted out of you. I wanted to ask if you had any summer plans, but I know you just took a vacation to Nashville.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we didn't talk about that on the podcast, but maybe talk about Nashville, the city, and if you have any other plans like the rest of the summer, essentially.
Yeah. So man, Nashville was pretty awesome. I got the team Florida to fly me right there, and my girlfriend came from here. We met there and we spent 4 nights there, and
yeah.
It was a blast. Recommend it to anyone, any of your listeners for sure. Country music fan or not, like there's kind of
everything,
bars for everything, and good happy hours, good food. Like obviously this time of year the weather was fantastic too, so it was a blast. But in terms of summer plans, man, like just trying to catch up. I haven't been home in a while, so trying to catch up with family, friends.
Yeah.
Obviously training. I started late last week, so.
Where are you training at?
I'm training on Quinpool with JP McCollum.
Oh yeah, doesn't Marchand trains there too? Yeah.
We train together and a couple other guys. So
okay, cool.
So busy with that and got some family in PEI and Cape Breton, so I like to make a couple trips there. But other than that,
in the summer's awesome.
Can't be beat.
You ever go camping out there?
Oh yeah. Growing up, we always did. My dad's from there, so
is he?
Spent lots of time.
Nice.
Other than that, no, not
cool.
Nothing too crazy.
Right on. Do you want to give a shout out to anyone? If you want to say hi to any friends, people are watching, man. This will probably get 1,000 views.
You think?
I don't know.
I know my buddy Jared McFadgen is definitely watching it. He's a big podcast guy, and he said he would tune in. He was pumped when I told him I was coming on, but
you got to get Instagram. I was looking for you when I tagged you.
Yeah,
but you didn't have it, so I was like, oh,
I do have Instagram.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I'm on the down low on Instagram. I'll follow you back. So
I didn't even follow you because I looked for you and I couldn't find you because I tagged you in the post, or I didn't tag you in the post because I couldn't find you.
Yeah, you'll find me.
All right then.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone that's listening, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Steven, once again, thank you for coming. I appreciate
no problem,
it.
Man.
Are you going back to Dartmouth right now, Cole Harbour?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, grab some dinner.
I'm going to the pig roast.
No,
I am sorry.
I wish I was.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, make sure to follow us on all of our social media outlets: Instagram, Twitter, Snap. Oh, we don't have Snapchat, Facebook, iTunes, SoundCloud, and now on Spotify. Not a big deal. We're out. Peace.